Hello, good morning. This is Kim from the Forever in Motion team. I'm here this morning to do a Forever in Motion class with anybody who comes. I'll just give it just a few minutes to see if anybody pops on this morning. I don't think it's raining right at this moment, but it is rather gloomy outside today. We finally got some rain. It's a little bit late. If you are in a farming community, you know what I mean. It's a little bit late, but at least we're getting some moisture now. All right, so for this morning's class, we don't need an exercise band for this morning. All that you will need is a chair. You can see that I've got my chair back there, and then if you can see right there, I've also got my water bottle. So the only two things that you will need for this class are a sturdy chair, a chair that's sturdy and without wheels that's gonna run away on you, or a chair or a bench or something that you can use to hold on to and sit up and down on, as well as a water bottle. So today's focus is going to be a bit more on some leg mobility, some leg strength, and then some balance. So, maybe I do have one person on this morning. Good morning. Welcome. Again, my name is Kim. I'm here to do the Forever in Motion class. The only thing that you need is a chair and a water bottle. All right, so you guys know as we are going through the class, if you are watching live and you can't hear me, please just let me know. If you comment, it comes up on the bottom of my screen. And so then I'm able to see that someone said something, and then I can look and see if you need me to speak louder, or knowing me, if you need me to speak slower, because I tend to talk quite fast. So, all right, we're gonna start with our warm up this morning. So everybody up. Now I am going to do my warm up standing beside my chair. If you have a chair and you're standing, I would ask you to come behind your chair so that it's accessible to have both hands on that chair. The only reason I'm not behind my chair is because you can't see my feet when I'm behind this chair. So I'm just gonna be beside it. Excuse me. All right, so we're gonna start. I'm gonna move this just a little bit more so you can see me. So we're just gonna start with an easy warm up, which is just a march. Now, if you don't want to be doing your warm up standing, you can be sitting in the chair as well, right? So if you're sitting in the chair, you're just marching in the chair, doing the same thing that I'm doing standing. You're just sitting in the chair. But if you're in the chair, make sure that you are not leaning on the back of the chair. There's some space between your back and the back of the chair, and you're sitting up with beautiful posture, right? Ears over shoulders, shoulders over hips, trying to maintain that posture. And whether you're standing or sitting, you're still working on that posture. Yes? Yes. Making sure that those shoulders are back and down. Let's just roll those shoulders back and down to start. Keep those feet moving. Again, the chair is there if you need it or want it, especially when we're first starting out. And give those shoulders a shake. All right. If you're not holding onto the chair, you can be swinging those arms, getting them moving. I think on days like today where it's cool, it's only 11 degrees outside, and it's rather gloomy, I feel like I need a longer warm up. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like my body is cold. I had to turn my furnace on this morning. It was 67 degrees in here. That's too cold for this girl. I like it at least 70. All right, keep that march going. All right, now we're gonna switch this march into a step touch. So you're just gonna step, touch, step, touch, step, touch. Now let's have those hands, both of those hands go in the opposite way. If you don't wanna do the hands and the legs at the same time, you don't have to, just stick with the legs. Your hands can be holding on to the chair. If you've got one hand on the chair, the other hand is moving. And then at some point you wanna switch the hand so the other one is moving. Ooh, there you go. Opposite side, hands going opposite side of those feet. All right. Good, keep going. Now know that this is just the warm up. So I'm taking it pretty easy. If you are ready to go, if your body is warm and you want to pick up the pace, you are welcome to do that. If this pace is too much for you this morning, you're welcome to slow it down, right? That's the beauty of a fitness class. You can go the same speed as me, you can go faster, you can go slower. As long as you're still being safe and listening to your body, then it's okay. Shoulders are back and down. All right, we'll just do a couple more. My floor is squeaking. Can you guys hear it? I don't know. And back. All right, back to that march. Now we're going to do a V-step. We've done V-steps a lot, but I'll just refer to them to you guys. So you start at the back. You're going to step out, out, and then come back in, leading with this same leg. Out, in. If you're sitting in the chair, it looks exactly the same. You're just not stepping out as far, maybe. Out, out, in. Yeah, so you're creating that V and back. Good. Once you got those feet going, let's add some bicep curl arms. So those elbows are close to your body. You're just bringing those loose hands up towards your shoulders. Now you can have your hands going faster than your legs. You can have them going in unison. It's completely up to you. So we're just walking out that V-step. We're still using the same foot. We will switch. Don't you worry. Let's do 2 more this side. Last one, and come in to the back. Now lead with the other leg. Just start leading with this leg. Get those legs figured out. You got it? Good. And then once you have those legs figured out, we're going to bring our arms up to shoulder height and down. So it's kind of like a shoulder raise. Yes. So different movement this time. So I'm just bringing my hands up to shoulder height, straight out in front of me. My elbows aren't locked out. They got a slight bend. Again, if you don't want to do both legs and arms, you don't have to. Just a little challenge, maybe for your brain this morning. Get them both moving. Good. Oops, I missed the arms. Now you can go faster if you want. Oh, as soon as I go faster, my legs don't want to do what I want them to do. Or you can slow it down. It's up to you with those arms and those feet, whichever pace you would like to go. It's your call this morning. I see we got a few more people on. Good morning. Join us when you're ready. We're still warming up. Good, keep going. Let's do 2 more on this side. All right. And march it up, roll those shoulders back and down. All right, now we're going to do a 1, 2, 3 tap, forward and back. If you are standing behind your chair, you can turn your body to the side and then you'll still be able to hold on to the chair. If you're beside your chair or you don't need your body, we're going to move back and forth. So it's 1, 2, 3, tap, and then back. 1, 2, 3, tap. 1, 2, 3, tap. 1, 2, 3. Have some fun with it. 1, 2, 3, tap. 1, 2, 3, tap. You can count it out if you need to. 2, 3, tap. 1, 2, tap. So I'm going to show you what it looks like if you're behind the chair. 1, 2, 3, tap. 1, 2, 3, tap. 1, 2, 3, tap. Right, keep going. Hopefully I'll pop in at the right time. We're going to go forward. 1, 2, 3, tap. 1, 2, tap. Boom, boom. So imagine that there's some music. You can dance a little bit to it. 1, 2, 3, tap. 1. You don't have to move your upper body. You don't have to dance along. You can just focus on the feet. But I find it a little bit more fun if you throw a little bit of attitude, a little bit of dancing into it. Whatever you want to do, it's up to you. Tap. 1, 2, 3, tap. Hopefully your body is starting to feel warm. I'm starting to feel warmer. That's good. I don't like being cold. 1, 2, tap. Tap. Boom, boom, boom. Yes. We'll do a few more. Tap. One last time. So 1, 2, 3, tap. 1, 2, 3, tap. Good. And march it out. I'm just going to grab a drink of water. Keep those feet moving. Now you all don't need to grab a drink of water when I do, but it is a good idea when you're doing an exercise class, when you're exercising, to take sips of water as you go along, because you might not feel thirsty, but if you are starting to sweat and your heart rate is coming up, your body is going to need to replenish some of that water. All right, so hopefully you're feeling warm. We're going to come back to this march. Let me bring that heart rate down a little bit if it had gotten up. And I want you to plant your feet about hip distance apart. So have a realistic idea of how wide your hips are and plant those feet. Shoulders are back and down. We're just going to do a bit of a rotation. So I'm going to hold on to the chair. My one hand is going to come out in front. About shoulder height if you can reach there. If it's a little lower, that's okay too. My thumb is up and I'm going to look at my thumb as I rotate around as far as I can go to the back. Now we're going to hold it at the back, but even though we're holding it, I don't want you to hold your breath. So keep breathing. And then slowly follow it around to the front. Now let's switch to the other side. Other arm is out. Thumb is up, having a look at that thumb. Following it around. My feet stay planted. So you should feel this rotation all the way up your body. Your ankles, your knees, your hips, your back, your upper back, in your neck, everywhere. Good. And slowly come back to the middle. Now we're going to do each side one more time. So start at that first side again. All the way around. Yes. Now, this should feel really nice in that upper back. That's where I feel it the most. It feels beautiful up there. And come back to the middle. Now, how far you can rotate isn't important. It's just that you are trying to bring that body around. This movement is important, right? We need to be able to look over our shoulder, right? Especially for those of us that are driving. If you can't shoulder check, it's probably not safe to drive, right? And so just getting some of that mobility back into that body is a beautiful thing. All right, roll those shoulders back and down. Okay, now we're going to sit in the chair for some postural exercises to start, because you know me, I always do the postural exercises. People don't always realize the importance of our postural muscles and the importance of good posture when it comes to not only exercise, but everyday life, right? So find the middle of your chair with your bum. So I don't want you leaning back against the back of the chair. I want you sitting up with good posture. There's space between your back and the back of the chair. So we're going to start with shoulder retraction. So just take your shoulder blades, bring your arms back, and squeeze those shoulder blades down and together. That's all I'm asking. And even though we're going to hold them back there a little bit, keep breathing. And then relax those arms forward. So back and squeeze. And forward. It's just like we're telling those muscles to wake up. Back and squeeze. Good. And forward. Back and squeeze. Oof. How is your mobility this morning? Mine could be better. I think we'll have to do these a few times. Back and squeeze. Good. And relax. Let's do 2 more. Back and squeeze. Just squeezing those shoulder blades together as much as you can. And relax. And last one. Back and squeeze. And relax forward. All right, now we're going to do a chin tuck, which if you've watched my classes, I do them in almost every single class, but I will show you in case you're new or you've forgotten. I'm just turning to the side so you can see what I'm doing. You're going to take your 2 fingers, first 2 fingers, and you're going to put them on your chin. Now what you're going to do is, keeping your eyes on the horizon, you're just going to bring that chin away from your fingers and then bring it back. Bring it back and away. You're going to feel a stretch up the back of your neck and maybe even up the back of your head. Depends how tight you are back there. And relax forward. Bring it back. Should feel really nice. And bring it forward. That stretch for the back of your neck and the back of your head should feel really good. And bring it forward. Back and squeeze. And bring it forward. Bring it back. And forward. Let's do one more. Back. And forward. All right, now hopefully that chin tuck felt good. Like you knew what you were going to do. You knew what you were doing because we're going to combine those two movements. So we're going to do the shoulder retraction as well as the chin tuck at the same time. So hands can be here or on your armrests if you've got them. So let's start with bringing those shoulder blades down and together and then tuck that chin. Just see that I'm creating a double chin here. That's perfect. And then relax forward. Shoulder blades down and together and then tuck that chin. If it feels really awkward, you're probably doing it right. And relax. Squeeze the shoulder blades down together and then tuck that chin. Good. And relax. We'll do one more. Shoulder blades down and together and then tuck that chin. How big of a double chin can you make for yourself this morning? And relax. All right, shake that out. Okay. Now we're going to do a T squeeze. So I want your arms up at shoulder height. If you can see, you can't quite see. My palms are facing forward. My shoulders are away from my ears. If you can't get your hands all the way up to shoulder height, that's okay. Whatever you can do, it's perfect. Now what we're going to do is we're going to bring those arms back, squeeze those shoulder blades down and together, and then release those arms forward. Back and squeeze. Now this is the second time or third time, I guess. We're getting those shoulder blades to squeeze together. So with our arms up, we should get a little bit different movement in those shoulder blades. Still squeezing them down together, but you might notice that it feels a little bit different. Back and squeeze. Ooh, yeah. And come forward. Shoulders away from your ears. Make an effort to make sure that they aren't coming up. When things get hard, that's what happens. Our shoulders come up towards our ears. Bring them away. And relax forward. Two more. I think we can do two more. Back and squeeze. And come forward. One more time. Back and squeeze. And come forward. All right. Shake that out. Give those arms a shake. All right. So this next one, we're going to tuck our elbows into our sides. Our forearms are parallel with the ground, but my palms are up. Okay, so make sure that your forearms aren't down facing your, let me try that again. Imagine you had a plate of cookies, a tray of cookies. You don't want to dump them down on the ground and you don't want to dump them into your lap. So keep those hands parallel with the floor or the ceiling. Now what we're going to do, keeping those elbows tucked in, we're just going to turn those arms out as far as you can go with keeping those elbows tucked in and then come together. Rotate out. Good. And come together. Now rotate out. Now you notice that when my arms go out, I don't actually get that much movement out to the side. That's just the way that my body is made. I physically cannot go any farther than that. Some people can, and that's okay. You just figure out what your body can do. As long as you got those elbows tucked tight to your side, and those arms parallel with the ground, you go out as far as is comfortable for you. This is a restriction for me. This is as far as it goes. That's it. And come back together. Out. Ha! How's it feeling? And together. Can we do two more? Yeah, we can. Out. That's it. Shoulders are away from your ears, sitting up with that beautiful posture. And last one. Out. And in. All right. Give that another shake. All right. We have a couple more. sitting for postural exercises. So making sure you're absolutely at the middle of your chair. Arms are going to be out, but this time your palms are going to be up. Shoulders are away from your ears. Now, what I would like you to do is bring your arms far enough back that if you're looking straight ahead and you wiggle your fingers, you can't see your fingers in your peripheral vision. Take them that far back. If you can't get them quite that far back, take them back as far as you can. Now, keeping those arms that far back, what we're going to do is raise them up. Keep them back though, and bring them back down. Raise them up. If you can take your hands higher than about this, you need to bring your arms farther back and down. Those fingers should not pop into your peripheral vision at all. If they start to pop into your peripheral vision, you've gone up too far and you've started to move forward. So make sure that those hands are back and down. Bring them up. Is it burning? It's burning. And down. Let's do two more. We can do two more. If you need a break, feel free to take that break. And down. Ooh. Last one. Up. Yikes. Keep breathing. And down. Woo. All right. It was burning through here for me. Maybe at the back of my arms as well. And the reason why that one is so hard, because most people are really tight in our chest. So that was opening you up, opening that chest up as far as possible and then making you work. So that's why that one's so hard. All right, last one that we're gonna do for posture. Having those feet and those knees together. So squeezing those feet and those knees together or as close together as you can get them. I'm gonna cross my arms one over the other and then I'm gonna bring my arms up to shoulder height. Okay, beautiful posture. Now, keeping those feet and those knees together, what we're going to do is we're going to turn, poke that elbow over one shoulder, and then we're going to hold it here. Now, it doesn't matter how far you've rotated. Maybe you can't go as far as I have. Maybe you're going farther than I am. That's okay. Just figure out what works for your body and keep breathing and come back to the middle. Now, let's go to the other side. Oh, yes, this feels so good. It's a stretch through that upper back. You should feel a bit of a stretch between your shoulder blades. And as usual, a stretch should feel really nice. And back to the middle. Let's do the other side. Making sure that you're squeezing those knees and those feet together. Keep breathing. And back to the middle. We'll go to the other side one more time. Other side. And back to the middle. All right, shake that out. Grab a drink of water. Grab my drink here. Now, the next batch of exercises we're going to do is going to be a combination of legs and balance. So you can do it either seated or standing. If you're seated in the chair, I will show you the modification for that. Otherwise, I will be standing to show these movements. If you are seated, know that you are working on your seated balance. People don't always realize that we have to have balance when we're sitting in a chair as well, right? So if the standing exercises are too much and you need to take a break and sit down, go ahead and do that and know that you're still working on your balance. You're just working on seated balance instead of standing balance, and we need both in this life. So don't worry about it at all. All right, so I'm gonna move my chair to here so that I can stand beside it. Now, same as when we did the warm-up. If you are behind your chair, if you are using the chair, if you're standing, I want you behind your chair. Even if you're not using it, I still want you behind your chair so that you can grab onto it if you need to. I am just going to go to the side so you can see me, and I have my chair facing forward so I can sit in the chair and show the seated option as well. Okay, so we are going to start just with some knee raises. So what we're going to do is I'll turn this way, bring that knee as close to 90 degrees from that hip as we can, set it down, and then go to the other side. Now this is a strength exercise. Absolutely it is. How do we turn it into strength and balance? We slow it down. The slower that you do this, the longer you're standing on one foot, right? So you're just alternating one leg, And then the other, standing up with that beautiful posture. Now let me show you what it looks like in the chair. Keep going. I'm just bringing my leg up and down, up and down. If you're in the chair, you can be holding on to the sides if you need, holding on to your hand rests if you have them, arm rests, sorry. And if you don't need, it becomes even more work if you're not touching. Good, keep going. Up and down. Good. Up and down. Yes. Up, woo, and down. So this leg that is standing, when you've got the other leg up, you're going to tighten that leg. You're going to tighten that hamstring, those quads, those glutes, to have a firm, steady base of support from this leg while the other one is coming up. So both legs are working as we're doing this movement. We'll do one more on each side. Make sure that you're even. And relax. Okay, give those legs a shake. Now, we're going to work the back of our leg now. So my knee is going to point straight down, and I'm just going to bring my heel up towards my bum in a hamstring curl, and then put it down, and then go to the other side. So when I'm facing forward, my feet are about hip distance apart. That knee stays pointing straight down, and I'm just alternating one side and then the other. So it's a weight transfer, which works on your balance. It's strength because you're tightening this leg while this leg works, and then this leg is working as well. If you're in the chair, it's going to look like this. Oh, I'll turn sideways so you can see in the chair. And down. You should feel some engagement in that hamstring at the back of your leg. Also, if you're in the chair, your core is even tighter to make sure you're not leaning back to get this done, right? You're still maintaining that upright posture. Okay, keep going. One side, and then the other. Good. Oof. Let's do two more on each side. Yes? We can do that. I don't know. You guys know, if you've watched my classes before, I'm not so good at the counting and the talking at the same time. So, one more on each side. Last one. Good. And shake that out. All right. Now we're going to do something called hip abduction. When you do abduction, you're taking something away from your body. So that would be this leg. So I'm going to stand, shoulder distance apart, hip distance apart. Keeping this foot facing straight forward, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring it out to the side. That toe continues to point straight forward. It's not a big movement. Bring it in and then go to the other side. Out and in. You should feel it on the side of your hip. Out and in. Make sure that that toe is pointing straight forward. If that toe is pointing out, it becomes an inner thigh exercise, and I don't want that. I want to work on the outside of your hip. And out. Good. If you're sitting in a chair, you can be here. What you're going to do is put some pressure on the outside of your leg, and then you're going to bring it out and in. Now this one, push against it, out and in. Good. Out and in. Pushing against that leg, out and in. It's not a huge movement, okay? If you are standing, I don't want this. Nope. Keeping that upright posture, shifting that weight, out with that leg, and come to the middle. Other side. Toe pointing straight forward. Good. Out. And in. Up. Good. And in. Keep going. Are you starting to feel it on the outside of your hips? This is what I call my saddlebags. That's where you should feel it, on the outside of that hip. Let's do one more on each side. Make sure that you are even, that you've done the same amount on both sides. Okay, and release that. All right, I'm gonna grab a drink. If you need one or want one, go ahead. Anytime you need one or want one, please feel free to go ahead. All right, now we're going to do heel and toe raises. So we're gonna start with heel raises. So my feet are about hip distance apart. I'll turn to the side so you guys can see. Maintaining that beautiful posture, all I'm doing is bringing those heels up off the floor and putting them back down. But it's controlled. It's up and down. It's not up and down. No, controlled all the way up, all the way down. If you're in the chair, it's the same thing. Just bring those heels up and down. If you would like a little bit more work, you can push down on those legs. If you're in the chair, it just adds a little bit of resistance. Up and down. Good. Up and down. Keep going. Up and down. Ooh, can you feel it in those calves? I sure hope you can. I'm starting to feel it. Up. Whoop. Use the chair if you need it. Up and down. 2 more. Up and down. Last one. Up and down. Okay, now we're gonna do toe raises, which are a little bit harder, right? So again, standing with those feet hip distance apart or sitting with your feet hip distance apart, what you're gonna do is you're gonna bring your toes up. Now you'll notice when I bring my toes up, I maintain my posture. Lots of people, when they bring their toes up, they wanna do this. Well, you know what, that's easier because you're shooting that bum back. It's easier to get those toes up, and then we're not targeting the muscles we want. So maintain that posture, bring those toes up and down. Good. Up and down. It looks exactly the same if you're in the chair. Just bring those toes up and down. You're gonna notice there's a muscle along the front of your shin, right beside your shin bone, on the outside of that shin bone. Up and down. You're going to notice that that muscle is working. And honestly, as we get older, we really need to remember to work this muscle, because that muscle that we're working right now is responsible for picking your toes up like we're doing. And if you aren't picking your toes up when you walk, what could happen? You could trip, right? Because you aren't able to bring those toes up off the ground anymore. So this one is important for everyone, but even more so as we get older. So it's important to do this one. I mean, they're all important, right? Let's do 2 more. Up and down, and last one, up and down. Okay, give it a shake. All right, so now we're gonna combine those 2. So what we're going to do, take a breath, grab a drink if you want to. You can come up on your toes, and then you're gonna go back on your heels. Up on your toes, back on your heels. Up and back. It's a little bit of a rocking motion, but if you control it, it's not momentum doing the work, it's your muscles, which is amazing. It's what we want. Now we've done a fair amount of these, so we're not going to do lots of these ones. It's just fun to combine them once in a while, right? If you're starting to get tired, feel free to take a break. Otherwise, we're going to do 2 more. And back. And up. And back. All right. Give that a shake. All right. Next, what we're going to do is heel-toe walking. So if you're at the back of your chair, I want you to be far enough from the back of your chair that you can just grab on. Okay, and I will explain to you why. If you're in your chair, if you're sitting in the chair, I want you to be able to bring your feet back as far as you can. Because what we're going to do is we're going to just walk our feet back and forth. Now, if you're sitting in the chair, this isn't, it doesn't work as well in the chair. So if you could, if there's one thing, if you're sitting in the chair, one time you're going to stand and try something today, maybe this would be it. And maybe you could do 2 chairs on either side, or a chair and a counter. So what we're going to do, I'm going to start at the back, as far away from that chair as I can while still holding on, and we're just going to do heel-toe walking. Right? So, if this is easy, just a sec, I'm going to only walk as far forward as I can with still being able to hold on to that chair, and then I'm going to walk backwards. So it becomes toe-heel walking. So that toe hits into your heel, and then put it back. If this is easy, don't look at your feet. Makes it a little bit harder, just look out on the horizon. If that is easy, I have to look at my feet on the way forward. What the heck? Okay. If that is easy, let go of the chair. Have the chair there if you need it. Whoop, and go forward. I teach some kids classes, and I had them doing this the other day too, on a line on the floor. They thought it was super fun. Whoop. Okay, keep going. Ah! Okay, don't run into things. Okay, watch where you're going. So just back and forth. Trying to test your balance. If you can, if you feel like you can test your balance and not touch, go ahead and do that. Ah. Let's do one more up and back. And I'm going to go back now. All right, good work. Okay, give those legs a shake. Now we're going to work on a little bit of reaching balance. So what we're going to do is if you're behind your chair, again, you're behind your chair, I'm going to show you how to do it standing, and if you're sitting, I'll show you that option as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stand with one foot slightly in front of the other. So this foot that is slightly in front, I'm going to use the other arm, and I'm going to come forward, and I'm just going to reach forward and up. You see my back heel has come off. And then I'm going to come back down. And then I'm going to reach. So imagine that you're reaching for something on the top shelf and back. It's range of motion for this arm, right? It's balance if you don't need the chair. Try it without the chair and down. If you are in the chair, it just looks the same. Just reach up and come back. Reach up and come back. You're probably going to feel some work in that shoulder. Make sure that those shoulders are away from your ears. But that shoulder is working. Your glutes are working, your legs are working, and your balance is working, right? Up and back. 2 more. Up and back. Last one. Up and back. All right, now we're going to do the other side. So the other foot is coming forward. You may notice that the first arm that you did, that was your good balance side. This side might be a little bit harder. Hopefully that made sense. All right, so reach up and come back. Reach up. I'm going to do these first few with my hand on the chair just to make sure I have the movement. And back. Reaching up and back. Good. Up. Back. Now I'm going to try it without, see what happens. I have to go a little bit slower. Up. And back. Up. And back. 2 more. Up. And back. And last one, up and back. All right. Now I would like to do a side-to-side reach. So I want everyone to sit in their chair. Just going to grab a little drink before we sit down. Okay. So I'm trying to get my chair in the middle here. There we go. All right. So I want you to sit towards the middle of your chair. Okay? If you have armrests on your chair, that's fabulous. It doesn't matter. You can still do this either way. So I want you to bring your arms out to shoulder height. Now, keeping both your bum cheeks on the chair, both of your feet on the floor, I just want you to lean over, reaching straight out with that hand, not down, straight out. And then come back to the middle. Now the other side. Reach out, stay grounded, and come back to the middle. Shoulders away from your ears. Reach out, and the middle. Reach out, and come back to the middle. Couple more. Out, and the middle. Last one on this side. Out, and to the middle. All right, now, if that felt easy, we can take it up another level, okay? So only if that felt easy. If that didn't feel easy, stick with that level. But if it did, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna reach out this way, and then this bum cheek is gonna come slightly off the chair so I can reach a little bit farther out and come back to the middle. Now reach the other way, bring it up so there's a little bit of space. My foot is coming up a little bit too, and come back to the middle. Reach, and back to the middle. Reach, and back to the middle. Good, reach, and back to the middle. One more this side, reach, and back to the middle. All right, my arms are starting to feel it from being up there for so long. Now, there is a third level to that. Now, only do this third level if the first two were good, if you felt like you were solid in those first two. If it wasn't, you can do level 1, which is just the reach, and level 2, which is bringing that bum cheek just a little bit off the chair. Now, for sure, make sure you're in the middle of the chair. Arms are gonna come up to shoulder height again. Last time to bring them up, I swear. And when you reach over this time, that bum cheek is gonna come off, but so is that foot. I'm reaching out, not down. And come back to the middle. Reach out, bring that bum cheek off, then bring that foot off. And come back to the middle. Reach, bum cheek comes up, then your foot. And come back to the middle. Have control. Bum cheek comes up, and then the foot. Let's do one more each side. Reach, bring it up. Make sure you're reaching out and not down. Reach. And then bring it back to the middle. All right, shake that out. Okay, hey, good news. We're done the work for today. We're just gonna do some stretching now. So now is a great time to grab a drink of water. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed those a little bit of balance work today. A little bit of different work for your lower body as well. All right, so we're gonna do our stretching in the chair. We're gonna start with a hamstring stretch. So come a little bit further forward in your chair. I'm almost towards the edge of my chair. And the reason I wanna do that is I want to be able to get this leg straight out. If I'm too far back in my chair, it doesn't go as straight as I would like it to be. Now there's a slight bend in my knee, or it's straight, but that leg isn't locked out. Toes are coming up towards that shin. Find those hips with your hands, sitting up with beautiful posture. You're just gonna hinge forward at the hip until you feel the stretch. You're probably gonna feel it behind your thigh, maybe even behind your knee. And if you have your toes coming towards your shin, you might even feel the stretch in your calf muscle as well. So hands can be on the opposite leg, not on the one that's stretching. We'll hold it here. Take some nice deep breaths. Good. And release that. Let's do the other side. So other leg comes out. Heel is down, toes are coming towards that shin. The leg is straight, but not locked out. Hands on those hips, and then hinging forward, woo, until you feel the stretch behind your thigh, maybe even behind your knee. And if you have those toes coming towards your shin, you might feel it in your calf as well. It's like you're stretching the whole back side of your leg. Good. One more breath here. All right, now we're gonna stretch for the front of our leg. Now this one we need to turn sideways in your chair. So if you have a chair that isn't really sturdy, just make sure that you are not gonna fall off your chair before we do this. And as well, if you have armrests on your chair, it might be a little bit harder. So I'm gonna turn sideways. So I don't know if you can see, but I have one cheek on the chair and one cheek off the chair. I'm gonna hold on to the back of the chair. Now the leg that's in front, I'm just gonna drop that so that my knee is straight down from my hip. So I'm just walking my foot back until I start to feel a stretch in the front of that thigh. Once you feel that, having that beautiful posture, imagine if you had a tail. You're going to tuck your tail, and then you should really feel the stretch in the front of your thigh and maybe even in the front of your hip, in your hip flexor. So you're looking straight ahead, having that beautiful posture. Some people like to walk their leg all the way back, and that's okay too. Like, find the level where you feel that stretch. Stretches should feel good. Stretches should not hurt, right? Take some deep breaths here. All right, and release that. And let's go to the other side. So other side now. Facing the other way. One cheek on, one cheek off. Grabbing onto that chair. Walking that foot back until you feel that stretch here, maybe even in that hip flexor. Finding that level. Now this leg for me isn't as tight, so I need to bring it back a little bit. There we are. Now imagine again if you had that tail. Tuck that tail, and you're really hopefully going to feel it in that hip flexor in the front. Make sure that you're secure in this, that your chair isn't wobbling. I'll take one more breath here. All right, and we'll come around to the front. Now, finding the middle of your chair. We're done with those legs, so we don't need to be towards the front. Find the middle of your chair. We're going to have one arm straight up to the ceiling. Reach, 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 reach. Reaching up, 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 up. Other hand is going to come down. You might feel the stretch, you might not. It should stretch through your back. Now taking that hand, we're going to still reach up, but slightly over, and then you might feel the stretch in the side of your body. Bring it straight up. Now take that hand and drop it to the back of your neck. This should stretch the back of your arm, that tricep. If this isn't accessible for your range of motion in your shoulder, you can always take this hand, come across to the other shoulder, and then just give a slight push above your elbow. That should stretch that tricep as well. So choose which level or which one you want to do based on the way your body works. And release that. Now let's do the other side. Reaching up, 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 up. One arm up, one arm down. Reaching, reaching, reaching. Good. Now still reaching up, but slightly over. And bring it back up straight. Drop in that hand. Give that tricep. So for some people, this is enough of a stretch for that tricep. Some people need to give a little push from the front. And other people choose to give a little pull from behind. If you're doing the pull from behind, make sure that you're not touching your head or pulling on your head at all, because we don't want to put any pressure on that neck. And again, if this isn't accessible, you take that hand across and give a little push at the top. Good. And release that. Let's roll those shoulders back and down. And then we'll finish with a beautiful chest stretch. So hands come together in the front, opening up through the chest, dropping those shoulders away from your ears, finding the level that your arms need to be at to feel the stretch through your chest and into your arm. So dropping those shoulders, sitting up with that beautiful posture, bringing those arms open. You should feel beautiful. Should feel amazing. And bring it back together. Now one more time, open up. Drop those shoulders. Excuse me. One more breath here. And bring it back together. All right, now let's take a couple of big deep breaths together. So inhale up. And exhale out. And one more time, inhale up. And exhale down. And that is it. We are done for this morning. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me this morning. I see that I have 5 people still watching. It was good of you all to show up this morning. Thank you for that. And I hope that you guys have a wonderful day. See you next time. Bye.